This is Ryan and David Zachos. We are brokers and owners of Zachos Realty here out of Sarasota, Florida. In today's video, we're going to talk about something that we hear often. Is the real estate market going to crash? What can we expect from that? If we're going to buy real estate, where should we be buying that at?
Yeah, lately, we all been seeing signs of news that, hey, maybe a recession's coming. Locally, we are seeing signs of a leveling off of our real estate market. We've been hearing from a lot of people that there's evidence of a coming recession, and we know interest rates are rising, demand may be winding down. We are in the real estate market every day, and we wanted to share some insights and information on what we see with our boots on the ground, speaking to people, showing houses day in and day out. Ryan, tell us what you're seeing over the last 30 to 60 days.
There's a lot of change regarding just interest rates by itself, but if you look at the last couple of years with COVID and everything else, the perfect storm of low interest rates, baby boomers retiring, millennials purchasing their first home, has created this huge demand for housing. And now that we're seeing interest rates tick up and baby boomers have now purchased their homes and millennials have purchased their homes and the interest rates are really low, we're starting to see some signs of that leveling off for sure.
Yeah, one thing you didn't mention was the stock market was so hot, people had money, felt they had plenty of money, and now that's retracting, so that's causing people to think things a little bit differently. Yeah, several months ago, any home we put on the market, we'd have 10, 12, a dozen offers within the first few days. Now, homes that we put on the market and also homes where we make offers on behalf of buyers, within the last week or two, maybe 2, 3 offers on a house instead of over 10. Take that into fact that mortgage rates are over 5% and are expected to go up again. I hear is half a point next week. It's definitely causing a slowdown in demand of buyers, especially at the lower end of homes. And I know, Ryan, you've been working with some people recently that you could share firsthand, some experience you had.
Yeah, over the last couple of years, I've definitely worked with a lot of young professionals, young couples, first-time home buyers. Just with this hike of interest rate on a $600,000 home, a 3% interest rate to a 5% interest rate is a $700 a month spend difference. So these people that are typically looking, like you mentioned, at the lower end of the spectrum as young professionals and first-time home buyers, now when they were at 45% debt to income have been priced out, so they're being forced to rent because that $400,000 house is really not an option in this market, especially with all the investors buying up that price point.
So knowing this, I think we should now focus on areas that we think will be less impacted as the tides change. Ryan, tell us about buying close to the beach versus buying out east.
Yeah, I think I did a video on this previously actually about how Sarasota specifically was developed and why it was developed that way. And I think that's really interesting because obviously it was developed on the coast. Downtown Sarasota is on the water, and then there was these little circles of every 10, 20, 30 years, depending on the housing boom when they were developed out. A couple things that we've seen that have been really high demand over the last couple of years have been obviously proximity to the water. Everyone wants to be as close to the beach as possible. Or now with COVID, people want land. So that's not just, we're not talking about just a neighborhood home on 1/10 of an acre. We're talking about an acre, 2 acres, 5 acres where people can spread out, have a nice pool, and actually have a retreat style home living. So those are the 2 areas, but definitely those are the areas that we want to focus on because, like they say in real estate, location, 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 right?
Yeah, that's definitely true. As we see a retraction, usually the remote areas hit first, and you can look at real estate, I think, in any market. Sarasota's kind of, for us in our area, is kind of the center. Also look at, Siesta Key, Anna Maria, Bradenton Beach, Venice. These are kind of the hubs of why people come down here. The closer to those, the values tend to hold. The farther away from those, when the values wane or when demand stops, it usually hits those more remote areas first. So let's start on the north side of these communities close to the beach. Ryan, tell us some of the neighborhoods or communities close to the beach in Manatee County you feel are going to be still desirable.
Yeah, I actually live in Manatee County, and I did put a contract, or actually just closed on a home in Palmasola. Love Palmasola. It's a beautiful community, and it's really close proximity to Anna Maria Island as well as Robinson Preserve, which is kind of like a little best kept secret of that area. It's a big preserve with trails, water access, and all that. But Palmasola, West Bradenton, being west of downtown is great. And then of course all the islands, Anna Maria, Bradenton Beach, and then working our way south down to Longboat Key. They're all very desirable areas and continue and will be.
And then as you go south to Sarasota, the areas around Siesta Key, just close to that, which would mean the Hillview area, Southgate, Gulfgate, Palmer Ranch. There's some fringe neighborhoods that I didn't mention, I think are still good values. Prices are still high and demand is still high. You're very close to the beach within a mile or two. Just south of Sarasota is Osprey Nokomis, and Ryan, I know you just put a house under contract there. Tell us your insights about Nokomis area.
Yeah, so I did put a house under contract there in the inlets. I love the inlets. I love Sorrento Shores. I love Sorrento South. These are three wonderful communities. They're west of the trail or west of US 41. They all have waterfront access, and the communities themselves have waterfront access, which I think is a really cool value add to the community.
Yeah, water access, proximity, it just continues to drive demand. And I live now in Venice. The historic little downtown Venice and the beach makes that area very desirable. It's one place on this coast where you can actually walk from downtown to the beach. You don't have to cross a bridge. It's only half a mile distant. There's 6 to 7 different public beaches in Venice, and if you stay within a mile or two, maybe up to 3 miles away from historic Venice and those Venice beaches, your value is going to hold true, and I feel those are good buys now, even in a retracting market. The further east you go, I think the values are going to be hit more. A little farther south than this, you've got Minnesota Beach, Inglewood Beach. Still look at those neighborhoods that are just a mile or two close to the beach that provide that value. You can see those neighborhoods because you'll see they're being renovated. You see an old houses turned down, new construction taking place. If you see those signs taking place, you know that's a place people are investing, and it's a good place for you to buy your future home.
Yeah, I think people definitely are starting to find this area out. You know, historically, it's been the area that has been not developed or grown tremendously, but now people are seeing like, oh, this is close to the beach and at an affordable price point. So now we're seeing that. And I think because of the proximity to the beach, it's going to be a place where people are going to seek out, whether you're an investor or a primary homeowner.
Keep in mind that you may be looking for a house for yourself, or you may be looking for an investment home. A lot of investors are starting to target our area. They're actually exchanging properties in different parts of the country where the values are waning, and they're purchasing homes in our area. I've heard from a local builder that another builder that was building in California now has purchased 20 to 30 different home sites down in the Rotunda, East Inglewood area. And the reason that they're targeting this area is they just feel that there's big upside for purchasing homes to make them rentals. So rental demand, we're hearing that's going to increase over the next few years. So keep that in mind as a reason to buy a home. Not only is it in a great place, will it make a great rental? If the people investing are thinking that way, then there's got to be some value to that.
Yeah, that's definitely true, and that's really it that we have for this video today. We want to kind of keep it brief, short, and give you a bullet-pointed list of communities and what you should be focusing on living in the area. We do work with a lot of relocation buyers and investors. We would love to be a resource for you, so please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. We look forward to talking to you soon.
Thanks for watching.